Hi there, I'm Ice here, and I thought I'd show you a replay of a pretty fun and successful match I had with my Typhoon Mark 1B recently. The game really didn't start off very successfully. There was actually somebody at the door, and I had to go get it, so I had to just, in order to try and keep my Typhoon, avoid repair costs, I just basically set my Typhoon to climb away from the battle and dealt with the person showing up at my door, and then later on I came back in, and you can see this is actually 10 minutes into the game. The advantage of climbing away from the battlefield for 10 minutes was that, I could come in here I climbed to 6,200 meters and still be flying pretty fast at 432 kilometers per hour, because I obviously have massive energy at this point. And the really surprising thing was that after 10 minutes, where I hadn't been in the battle still hadn't actually ended. So I was able to come in flying fast, dive in, and still be above pretty much everyone. And I noticed there was BF-199G down there. I tried to attack him, then he saw me, he started climbing, and I went up, and he couldn't follow me, and went to attack someone else, that bomber I think, which allowed me to swoop down on him, and unleash the full power of the 4 Hispano cannons on the Typhoon 1B. I think I cut off both his wings actually in that pass. I had all the cards on them, of course, and by now I dropped down to about 5,000 meters, so I started climbing a bit again, looking around. I'm sorry this is a replay and I can't really show you everything that's going on. There is a high up 109 down there, but he was very far away, and I saw an opportunity to try and deal with this 0, which I did. And I'm climbing up again. I don't think I'm not absolutely sure if I saw that high up BF-109 at the time. I may not have done that. I just saw the 0 and I went for him. Another weakness of the replays is that you can't see the minimap, which is largely what I use to try and look in directions I can't. And you can see here that BF-109 is nowhere to be seen. Not sure if that is because he dived. I should actually be able to figure that out, to be honest, but we will instead see that down here there is a lot of red, at least 2 red fighters. I think they're both BF-109s. There's a blue fighter over there who is already engaging someone, so I dive in on this BF-109. He turns away, evades me, and I have to extend away a little bit. I'm a little bit worried here because there are others. I think he's got a friend somewhere. I think this was the higher one of the 2. And I think that is a bomber, though. Not much help to be got there. I'm just trying to protect my team's bombers, I guess. Climbing, getting my altitude back that I spent in the attack. And the BF-109 is not really climbing, at least not that hard. Looking around, I think largely the skies look pretty clear. I must confess I'm better at looking around in game than in the actual replays. Anyway, that BF-109 is attacking our bomber. And then I noticed, I think that is the guy who was higher up earlier. And sorry, Mr. Bomber, you're gonna have to, I can't help you. I've got to deal with this guy who would bounce me if I let him get the chance. Unfortunately for me, he seems to be busy climbing. Yeah, he's going after the bomber up there. And there we go. Took his wing off. Here I really almost completely derped out. I was just really busy climbing and looking around. I think I was looking below me at that point to see that nothing was climbing up to me, and I managed to almost crash my poor teammate in the bomber. So sorry about that, mate. At this point, of course, I have noticed the other BF-109 going after that bomber and decide to go after him because there's nobody high up now. And this takes me very low, unfortunately. But there's no other enemies in this portion of the map right here, right now. There probably will be, because as you can see I'm very close to the enemy spawn, but I just I figured I wanted to try and save that bomber. So I dove down all the BF-109 trying to take out the bomber, then I immediately start climbing across it to try and get back whatever altitude I can. I have obviously wasted a good deal of energy in this attack, but I got a kill, and really there's nobody else around, and I can climb up quite far. The Typhoon is a nice boom and zoomer. It climbs well, especially from lower altitudes, and it can keep energy from a dive for quite a long time. So you can see I can actually climb all the way back up to almost 5,000 meters in a zoom climb. Well, no, that's not quite true, but 4,200, I guess, in a zoom climb. Looking around, and I see an enemy Typhoon actually, and I evade his head-on. Well, there wasn't actually a head-on, and then I go back up, and fortunately for me, he does not have the energy to follow. I'm moving around a little bit to make sure any rounds he fires don't actually get to me. He's falling behind. I think I should have basically done this a lot sooner, because I should have, yeah, he was stalling there. I should have gone down after him much sooner, but I'm just not very good at figuring out when people actually stall out. So, and I think, to be honest, he was actually playing quite smart, Ellis K7. He wasn't climbing straight up for me either. Let's see if we can find him. Here he is. At this point he's going at 284 kilometers per hour. He was actually making sure not to get so slow that he would stall at any point, even though for a while there he was coming off. He looked like he was coming after me. So in my attack, he's not stalled. He tries to evade me and does that well, but I think I got a very lucky shot on him there. Took off his wing. I think that was pure luck that attack worked out. But at least it did work out, and so at this point I was actually sitting at 5 kills. That's an ace, isn't it? Nowhere near what people can do. And also, as you can see here, I've actually, in my attack on that Typhoon, I've managed to pick up a tail, a Yak 3. And another thing I've done is I've kept my Typhoon at very high altitude, where it isn't where his best performance is, but who cares about that when you can sit up there and boom and zoom people. Unfortunately, that Yak 3 was coming after me, and I had to try to speed away. He was getting pretty close for a while there, but then at this point I think it's climbing. What I was doing at this point really was I knew there was some blue fighters. Where are we? Is it that guy maybe? Guess it is. Might be anyway. He's still behind me and following. And there we have it. That blue fighter down there. I was just... I just sped away from him towards my team in the hopes of getting some help, which I certainly did. You'll get to see. There. They got each other. Oh, I'm sorry for you, mate. Really, I am. There's a teammate down there. I wish you hadn't gone for a head-on. I wish you had just evaded him, because if you had, I would have been on him, and there would have been a 2-on-1 situation instead. Well, you saved my you saved my. What is it? You saved me. Is the point anyway. Let's see. The Yak 3 has crashed with, yes, Cocoon 662 something something. It was actually in another Typhoon. Of his own. So I'm really appreciate the help there, Mr. Cocoon. I really didn't wanna engage that Yak, because it's especially the Yak 3 has a reputation as a very maneuverable plane, and the Typhoon, well, it's not a. It can maneuver, but it is more of a boom and zoom really in this game anyway. So I knew I would not be able to outmaneuver a Yak 3. Instead, I've been able to climb up to altitude 6,000 meters and 400 kilometers again. And actually, at this point, I'm above the enemy spawn again. I should slow down a bit. There's a Spitfire down there. He's closing in, but he's way below me. So I go down a bit, and then I start to pull up, hoping to catch him. Well, he goes away, and I decide, oh, what the heck. I'm going for him. And again, I get a relatively lucky with that boom and zoom pass, and I got him as well. I mean, he's a Spitfire, he is more maneuverable than me, so. But it's just one of the things I do love about the Typhoon is its armament. You can't quarrel with that. It's got 4 of those excellent British Hispano guns, which are quite hard to evade actually, especially with using stealth ammo, because they have the rounds just travel with a lot of velocity. They reach their targets quickly. So for the results you saw, I was still, even though I got 6 kills and didn't get shot down, there were 4 people who were above me in score, although they did lose a lot more planes. I think a lot of the enemies may have pulled out of this game, to be honest. Few of them fought it out till the bitter end. Several people on my team lost more planes, but in the end a lot of those guys had quit, and I'd sort of quit and come back in, and we I had a fun game. So yeah, that's about it. I think it's just sometimes. I mean, obviously, I would not recommend spending 10 minutes climbing off to the side. It is silly. Will most likely lose you the game while you're trying to. While you're busy climbing, the enemy team is busy bleeding you away your tickets, and you'll lose the game. But I got lucky this time. I was still in the game after 10 minutes, and I could come back in there with a massive energy advantage and pull off a pretty nice result.